Welcome to Relationship School. I am your professor Danny Phantom, and on today's episode of Relationship School it was brought to my attention that some men are dating women who have unhealed trauma but don't know how to handle it. Have no fear, that's what Relationship School is for. See, anytime a woman has unhealed trauma, most people would think it's smart to immediately leave so she doesn't pass that trauma of fear onto you, but you see, there's nothing wrong with helping a woman heal. Because loyalty comes when a student learns from a teacher, not when a student gets acknowledged from a fan. Always remember, your job as man is to have a high tolerance for understanding why her fear she refuses to talk about, and you have to practice understanding what her trigger point is and what it means from the moment that trauma was created. The trauma can be caused from getting sexually assaulted, possibly bullied in school, losing parents to gun violence, joining a sex scandal and not knowing about because she didn't have her parents, losing grandmother, losing mother, losing someone who she loved unconditionally. Her trauma could have been caused by anything, but your job as her best friend is to have a high tolerance to know the way she thinks may be wrong, questionable, and even dangerous. However, you cannot discredit her because that's how she was taught and that's how she learned on her own.
That's correct. Men, please understand something. It's normal for a woman to have trauma. I should know because I'm a prime example of that. When I met Hank, of course I had childhood trauma and mental fear from bad relationships that my husband didn't cause, but he wanted to be there for me, and his actions gave me the safe space I needed to let every single secret that was connected with my trauma and my frustration. All you have to do is practice helping her talk about it, but the way you do that isn't by saying, "Hey, tell me what's nothing you know." In order to get her to talk, you lead by action. You have to practice understanding why she's scared or hesitant to talk, and you cannot feel entitled to making her talk just because you're her boyfriend or boo. You push her away from you by showing off status, but you can possibly earn her trust by leading using character.
Yeah, don't be entitled like a dork.
Music is fire.
You have to help her talk about the bits and pieces first. That way you got an idea of what may have been the cause of the trauma. However, if she doesn't want to talk, you have to be the best friend that understands, not the best friend who discredits as she doesn't do what you expect her to do.
You see, most women was taught to never open up to a man, because most women fear that whoever she tells her secret to will constantly speak it back at her just to prove a point. So women would rather deflect and not talk over letting their man know what's really going on with them. Trust me, I did that to Fry more times than I can count. But if having your girl open up to you more is what you want, there is a way for you to earn that.
Well, maybe I can get some pointers for the men as well. A woman going through trauma means she has to feel her way. Not your way. Just because you're mentally stronger than her doesn't mean she can always think like you. You have to be a good listener and be the safe space. Now that means no matter what caused her trauma, you can't give no judgment, no criticism, no mean words, nothing, because as a teacher and entrepreneur, she's trusting you with her secret, and you must treat a woman's secret like it's a treasure. It'll make her respect you more than you think.
Yeah, Ms. Dork. But you must have a high tolerance for her emotional behavior. So you'll have to bring on that challenge. She's gonna possibly cry, curse, yell, scream, and might go wild. But you'll have to brave enough to turn that stress into peace. For both her and you. Just know it doesn't always work because you can't force a woman to open up to you, but there's no shame in trying.
Kevin, dude. There's an easier way to get your girlfriend to open up. You remember what you did to help have me open up about my trauma. Despite how many times I didn't want to. We was cuddling one night and you told me how much you wanted to help me get through me losing my grandmother. And I never talked to you about it because I was in so much pain when she passed away. I kept the frustration to myself for countless months because I didn't want to go off on you for something you didn't cause. But you said you didn't care. You wanted to help me heal, and that's what helped me want to open up to you. You used your actions instead of your words.
Nas, why are you yelling? The students can hear you just fine.
No reason, Danny, but the point is, you have to lead by actions. That's how you get your girlfriend to open up to you.
But one thing men need to understand, You can't discredit how she thinks just because she was taught differently than you. But if you're a woman who has built up anger and resentment towards men, I understand. I've been there, but the men ain't the issue. Some men were taught good, and some men wasn't taught at all. So please have a high tolerance for understanding that. And the second thing is this. I understand that you don't want to tell people, and you don't really want to tell anybody, but letting your frustration out is how you heal over time. And if he wants to be there, allow him to be there. Sometimes you have to have faith in somebody.
But remember, man, treat a woman's trauma like it's a treasure. Who knows, if you treat her secret like a treasure, maybe she'll give you a treasure in return.